Welcome back to Foodie Friday on MX24, and you're welcome back to our lovely kitchen. My name's Keely J. Brewer, and I'm excited to be here one more time. Foodie Friday is that one place where the foodies converge and we enjoy the best of eats. And I want you to know that to enjoy the best of food, you need to be able to cook the best of food, and you need to blend one or two things over here. To blend your skirmishes and communities, go out there and grab yourself a Secotech blender, Power Precision Perfection. It's the best blender on the market. It can blend anything from tomatoes to titanium. So go ahead and grab one for yourself, and you can call them on 0244 561 052. That's 0244 561 052. You can find them on the Boundary Road near the new roundabout, and follow them at Secotech Ghana on social media. That's at Secotech Ghana on social media. Well, now that's out of the way, I want you to know that today, the vibes are going to be special. I'm going to let the guest tell you what she'll be making for us. I'm sure you've seen her on social media. She's been going viral. She has thousands of followers. Her name is Chef Kikie, but she just likes to be called Kikie. And this is Lynne Kikie in the building with us. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Good to have you too.
Welcome to Foodie Friday. You're a foodie influencer.
Yeah.
So this is basically your space. Welcome to your own kitchen.
Okay, thank you.
Good to have you. Good to have you. So what are we cooking today?
So today we're making curry fried rice with chicken wings.
Curry fried rice?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the inspiration behind that?
I used to own a food shed, and it was one of the food I used to cook when I used to own a food shed, and people really liked it. So,
really? Tell me about your food shed.
So in 2022, I owned a food shed around UPSA, and I was selling yam chips, spring roll, rice, and like different types of food. And they were expanding the road, so they cleared my shed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
AMA.
I'm over it, so it's okay.
AMA. It's fine though.
Yeah.
Girls in business still.
Yeah.
All right, so we're making curry fried rice. What are we starting off with?
So we're going to start off with the rice. We're going to steam the rice with the Gino curry powder. And yeah, we'll continue as the time goes.
Nice. So we have our ingredients over here. We have some deep fried chicken, Scotch bonnet peppers, onions, carrots, bell peppers, and all variety.
Yeah.
Some seasoning cube, bay leaf, salt, and then oil.
Yeah.
For your chicken, this chicken looks extremely good, and it was very tempting to not steal some of this fried chicken when nobody was paying attention.
Okay.
What did you use to make it?
So for the seasoning, I used ginger, garlic, onions, seasoning cube, all-purpose seasoning, and yeah. That was it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump right into today's work.
Okay.
Your pot is here. Your stove is here. I'm just your assistant.
Okay.
Teach us how to make curry fried rice.
What I need to wash my hands first.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So let's get that done. But let's talk about you a little bit. At what point did you decide to go into the food business? You mentioned that you had a shed. Were you a student at UPSA, or just something you decided to pick up?
So I was a student in University of Ghana in 2012, and I completed in 2016. After that, I did a couple of 9-to-5s, and when I left the 9-to-5 business, I started doing my own thing. So that's when I started making churros. That's Spanish donuts.
I love churros.
Yeah, so I started with churros, and then people liked it. And as time went on, I added like more things to the menu. So it became like a whole food shed thing.
Nice one.
Yeah, and in 2022, I opened a shed and I started my thing.
So all of this was based on the frustration of not wanting to do the 9-to-5 anymore.
9-to-5, yes, I can't do 9-to-5 again. So yeah, I had to do my own thing.
Honestly, same, and that's why we're here at Foodie Friday.
Yeah.
So what are we starting with?
So let me start with the rice.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So we're going to add a little oil to this.
Okay.
Just a little. Can I have tissue?
Sure, of course. Here you go.
And I need to turn this on.
Yes, I'll help you with that.
Okay.
So you want to toast your rice in essence. I'm just curious, why do you want to toast your rice?
It makes it more flavorful. So I'm going to be doing that with the Gino curry powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So oil gone in, about to throw in some Gino curry powder to temper the spice. Now with tempering spice, the reason why you do that is to infuse the flavors of the spice into the oil. So you get to really enjoy the flavor of it, and you get to layer your spices and the flavor profile that you want to create for your dish. So
okay, so I'm going in with the rice.
Yeah, sure.
It's not washed. I like my rice. It's jasmine rice, so it's really neat. I don't need to wash it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to use it like that. Stir it a bit.
Okay, so toasting the rice first.
Yeah. And then we'll go in with the curry powder.
All right, sure. So let me grab you a pair of scissors for that.
Okay.
Here you go.
So please help me with this.
Yes, as a kitchen assistant, I shall. So what's it like starting a food business as a young person in Ghana?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you start and then like you have to look for a location. I started from home, so I was doing pre-orders. But as time went on, I wanted my own space. So I had to look for a location. And in Accra here, everywhere is taken, but you don't know it's taken until you go and set up there. Yeah, then that's when somebody's family member is coming from their village to come and tell you that that's their land and things like that. Exactly. So it's really, really hard. But also, when you have the right people around you and then you have like the right resources and you have like the right connections, it gets easier.
It gets easier.
Yeah, but that's something I didn't have at that time, so it was really, really hard.
So step one, to succeed in Accra, you need to know the right people. If you don't know the right people, you will fail.
You will fail.
Nobody will clap for you. All right, so how many packs of curry powder are we using?
Yes, I'm using 3 packs. So
3 packs or 3 sachets of Gino curry powder.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The Gino curry powder is so amazing. The
smell, it smells really nice.
Yeah, and the taste.
And the taste, exactly.
And the best part about it is that it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't overpower.
It doesn't overpower your food. So I'm going to go in with the salt now.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Pinch of salt.
Yeah. And then water. I'll need water.
All right, so I'll grab you some water from our lovely friends at Jibu,
okay,
who have been providing steadily for us. They make sure we never lack.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about your content creation journey.
Okay.
You have been doing food influencing, but at a point in time, you went into skincare influencing, which is something out of your regular niche, as people would say.
Yeah.
What happened? What's the story behind that?
So food content creation, not influencing.
Yes.
Food content creation was what I started with. That's what made me Kikie. And then skincare puts me at where I am now.
Okay.
So the thing is, I started with cooking. There was one time I was bored, and then I picked up my phone. I was making loaded fries in my apartment, and then I picked up my phone to record what I was doing, and I posted it on TikTok, and people liked it. And I was wondering why, because it wasn't something I was used to. It wasn't something I decided to do. It was just something I was doing as a hobby, and people liked it. And I continued with more cooking videos. Can I get more water?
Sure.
Sorry. I continued with more cooking videos, and it was blowing up. It was doing well. But the thing is, with content, people get tired if you're doing like a one-way thing. So later, I had to add lifestyle to it. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I had to add lifestyle to it, and then I continued with lifestyle. I think we'll have to cover this.
Yes, we'll cover it here.
Yeah. So I continued with lifestyle, and then I moved to skincare. With skincare, it wasn't planned.
Okay.
I woke up one day and I had like a lot of acne.
Wow.
Yes, I have hormonal acne, so once in a while it comes and then it goes.
Can you educate us a little bit on that? I know it's a food show, but I'm sure there are people who are watching who are probably going through the same thing.
Okay.
And they are lacking confidence in certain areas because they feel that their skin is not as presentable,
as
quote unquote, as it should be.
Yeah. So hormonal acne is basically something that has to do with the hormones. You know, women, we have like a lot of hormones.
Yes.
And if it exceeds a certain, I don't know if I should say amount, you start getting reactions, you start getting acne, you're always on edge, you're always angry. You know how women are, like when we're about to be in our period and stuff like that. Yeah, so unfortunately for me, I have hormonal acne.
Right.
And then there was one time I woke up, it started like coming gradually, but I wasn't taking notice of it. There was one time I woke up and then my face was like very
You just had like a lot of pimples.
Yeah, a lot of pimples. And then I was crying about it because I didn't understand what was happening. But that was the second time I was getting that. The first time I went to hospital and then they helped me do all of those things. And then now the second time it came again, and I had to deal with it. This time around, I'm an influencer or I'm a content creator. I need to work regardless. So yeah, I just recorded a video one time and I posted it on TikTok, and people liked it. And people were encouraging me. Some people said really nasty things to me.
Wow.
Yeah, the internet is very cruel, you know.
What's the worst thing you read out of that comment section?
Somebody told me my face is like Banku that's falling in sand. Yeah, that's what the person told me.
No, but how can you say something like that to your fellow human being?
The thing is, people on the internet think that once you are a creator, you don't have feelings.
Yeah.
They think you're a robot. So even if they say certain things, it is you that decided to put your life out there. So you have to deal with it. But they don't understand that we also have the same feelings that they have. And if they get hurt by certain things, we also get hurt by those things. So, but it didn't stop me. That's one thing about me. If I want to do something, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I just kept going. I kept posting. And honestly, skincare influencing has been a blessing to my life. And it's just been a year. But it has changed so many things for me. So yeah, right now I'm more into skincare influencing than food.
But what was it like dealing with the negative comments?
I'll just block you. Yeah, like I don't like stress. So if you want to come and stress me, I'll block you.
Block button.
Yeah,
straight.
I don't like stress at all.
But okay, let's tap into the psyche of those who engage in cyberbullying.
Okay.
Recently, there was a story circulating on social media about, I think she's a dance influencer, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I do not know her name, but she's a dance influencer and she was plus sized.
Okay.
And people would be in the comment section cheering her on, like, wow, she's plus sized, she knows how to move. But then there were some people too who would come into the comment section and say nasty things that were basically negative towards her body. And in essence, she listened to those comments and went the extra mile to get a surgery done.
Oh.
Trying to look better for people, and then she lost her life in the process. So some people would hear the comments and act like it doesn't bother them.
But it does.
And then go back door and try to fix and change things. But you, on the other hand, you decided to just live your life. So how do you handle those kind of comments?
So the thing is, you can't control what everybody says, but you can control how you react to the things people say. And that's something I needed to learn at therapy. I used to be like somebody who wanted to control everything around me. And how many people am I going to say, don't say this or don't say that? So the thing is, you can control how you react to those comments. Block people. I tell people to use their block button all the time. When you go through my block list, you can scroll. That's how much people are blocked. If you say something that annoys me, I'll block you. If you say something that I think would get to me, I'll block you. And then usually we say it doesn't really get to us, but come on, when you sleep at night, you think about something somebody has said.
Things,
like this particular comment, I can never forget it. Like, because how can you tell me that?
But that's rude.
But you just have to block people and then like keep it moving. Because guess what? The people that are telling you these things, trust me, if you see most of them, it's not like they're living a better life.
Honestly, it's crazy how some people buy like some 2 CD bundle with whatever network they use, because we don't do free promo over here.
Exactly.
And they'll come online and say the worst things to people that they don't even know from Adam. And they meet you in person and can't speak.
Exactly.
But what do you think makes them want to kind of dehumanize a character just because they are famous? Do you think it's because all of their business is out there, or it's because they just like to be mean to famous people?
Some people are just miserable. That's how I see it. Yeah, so they try to extend their miserability, that's if it's a word, to other people. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you never catch anybody who's on the top trying to bring somebody down.
Very true.
You'll never catch anybody who is like busy working, talking down on somebody. It doesn't work like that. So it's always the people below you.
Alright, so we have our roughly blended pepper over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for the sauce base?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So we're going to start with that.
Ooh, the pepper is hitting.
Sorry.
Oh, wow. That hits. Alright, so what's going into the sauce base?
So first the oil.
Okay.
A little.
Alright.
Can you send this on for me?
Yeah, sure. Let me help you with that. Okay.
And then I'm going to pour this.
In fact, let me give you space. It's your kitchen. Enjoy.
Okay.
Alright. So pepper is going into the oil.
Yeah.
Alright. Then what's next?
And then now the spices.
Okay, let me get you a spoon
Okay.
so you can mix your sauce.
Oh, rather.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem. I'll need that.
Okay, so there's a little bit of everything, a little bit of seasoning cube. There's some all-purpose spice, which I believe has rosemary, cloves, bay leaf, specially mixed by our one and only producer, Rookie. Thank you, Rookie, for the plug-in. All right, so here you go.
So we're gonna stir this.
All right. Okay, so how's your skincare influencing journey going now?
It's really good.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's really good, and that's only because I don't just work with national brands. Like I get to work with international brands as well. And these people, let me just say the hard truth. Ghanaian brands, most of them don't value influencers and content creators.
That's true. I agree with you.
When you get to work with international brands, you see how much respect they give you as a content creator or an influencer. So it's going really well for me.
But what would you say some of the differences are so that people can learn and then we'll also adapt and know what standards that we should hold some of these brands to? Because a brand can enter into someone's DMs and say, we need you to create 6 pieces of content, but we're only going to pay you 1,000 cedis. And someone will gladly jump at that offer, not knowing it's slavery. So what are some of the things?
So the thing is, they think it's just taking your phone and recording and editing, but it's not that. It's a lot of things that go into content creation. When you wake up as a content creator and you're not in a certain type of mood and you still have to create, you have to psych yourself.
True.
Like keep telling yourself that you need to be, because your voiceovers, everything in your content tells the type of mood you have. I was telling somebody the other time, when you're recording a voiceover, you're angry, people hear it in the voiceover. So there's a lot of things that goes into it, and they think it's just picking your phone. And then sometimes when they ask you what you're using to create and you say a phone, then they're like, you're using a phone. And I'm like, you saw my content before you came to me. I wasn't using a camera. So obviously I'm going to use a phone. But they just don't respect content creators as much. And I don't know how that's going to change, but it's quite unfortunate.
What do you think step 1 would be in case people are trying to set up a certain change? What do you think step 1 should be?
Step 1 should be, it should start from the smaller creators. They should stop charging the amounts that they charge. Because that's the only thing that's going to help us. Because when they come to us, I've not reached yet, but when they come to some of us,
in Jesus' name,
amen. When they come to some of us and then we give them a certain price that is worth our content, they go to these smaller creators for like a cheaper job, and then they get them to do it. If they keep doing that, it's never going to change. And then the thing about these smaller creators is that they don't realize that when they become bigger creators, the standard they've put for themselves is the standard they'll keep carrying.
Right.
When you start as a cheap creator and you are ready to take any amount of money for any type of job, you are never going to get a bigger amount for any type of job because they're not going to come to you. They have their people. They know the people they go to with big amounts, and then they know the people they come to with small amounts. So you realize that you're a bigger creator, but still nobody's paying you for anything.
True.
So it has to start from them, like from the bottom. They have to change their prices, yeah.
Revolution for all influencers, justice for the content creation space. Yeah. Because you hear some crazy stories, crazy deliverables. They'll give you a whole template and tell you, okay, you are creating X amount of videos, and this is the minuscule amount of money we are going to give you.
And it's terrible.
That cannot feed you and your family members. We want you to starve. That's what they do. They want you to starve. So we're hoping for the best. Hopefully, content creators will get their flowers and be able to do amazing things. But anyway, I see quote unquote papocheto sauce.
It's almost ready.
It's getting somewhere. It's almost ready. It's almost ready. It's almost ready. All right. So what's going in next?
So we are going to wait for this to cook, and then I can start mixing the vegetables with the rice.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but when the sauce is done, I'm going to add the chicken.
The chicken. Okay.
It's very hot.
Extremely hot. This is going to be super, super spicy.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's talk about you as a chef in your own right. What are some of your favorite dishes to cook? What do you like to cook normally when you're in the kitchen?
Banku and oko.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, my mom would bully me to cooking banku and oko every time, like, because she knew I was very good at it. And my mom, once you're good at something, she wants you to make it like over and over again. And then the cooking thing started with my mom.
Okay.
She's a caterer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
give us the backstory.
So when we were growing up, she wasn't in Ghana at first, and then she came to Ghana, she came to live with us, and then she started catering. Because like she obviously had to do something. She's a single mom.
Yes.
So she had to do something to take care of us. So we grew up in a family where you're cooking, she's cooking for banks, she's cooking for events and stuff like that. And she kept telling us that we shouldn't grow up like cooking because she understands the work. And she said it's very difficult. And apparently when you stand by fire for a long time, you don't live long.
True. And not just not living long, your skin.
Your skin, everything, it
as
affects you as like a person. So she warned us so many times not to grow up cooking, but we all grew up cooking. I did home econs in school. My big sister did home econs in school.
Hey, black sheep.
So
say don't do, you say you do.
That's what we did. And then my mom, she's not cooking and you're sitting in a room. You dare not. You're in the kitchen.
I think your mom is having a double standard now. She's saying don't be in the kitchen. But when she's in the kitchen,
but
she
you
wants
know,
to be one person.
as a woman,
Yeah.
you have to learn how to cook, you have to learn how to do like kitchen stuff. So she'll teach you how to do it. But then again, she tell you don't make a career. She doesn't want you to become a cook. She's just teaching you how to like
to do
cook.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was her reaction when you decided to take this on as a full-time job while you were in Legon when she was paying the fees?
My
she
mom
told you to not do something.
She will support you anytime. That's one thing about my mom. Even with the work I'm doing now, she doesn't really understand what goes into it. She just knows I'm getting paid for something. Like I'm getting paid to post content. But my mom would always support me. She's always in my comments. She's always sharing my YouTube videos to, so I'm putting the chicken in now. She's always sharing my YouTube videos to her friends. She's very supportive, even if she doesn't understand. And if she has to scold you, if she will support you and she has to come and scold you behind her, she'll do that. But you never catch my mom like talking down on any of her kids. That's the type of person she is.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And how do you think that also informed, you know, how you handle or conduct yourself as a woman or even as a public personality?
It really helps because, you know, when an African setting and when you get to a certain age or a certain phase in your life, people are expecting a lot from you. So imagine I had a mom who didn't know, like, wasn't supportive of the things I was doing. And maybe she wanted me to be a doctor or she wanted me to be a lawyer and I wasn't doing any of those things. Who's going to be at my, like, who's going to back me? Yeah. Literally nobody. And then, you know, like the whole African parents and marriage and things like that. She'll never give you pressure to be like married early or be in a relationship with anybody. At your own time, do what works for you. That's the type of person she is. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. So parents at home, if you're watching this, don't force your children. Don't stress them out. Allow them to grow into their passions and actually enjoy what they do. Because passion brings fulfillment once you follow it, but also secure the bag. All right, so our chicken has gone in. Yeah. It's mixed with the pepper sauce. It's cooking nicely. We're trying so hard not to cough in the kitchen because the pepper is hot. So I know that these wings are going to be super spicy. We're going to leave this to cook. The rice is almost there. I see our grains are doing what they got to do. Yeah. But whilst this is cooking, I want to talk to you about something special. Have you heard about the Gino Jollof Mix? Yes, no, maybe so. You need to go out there and grab that for yourself. In fact, let me grab a bag of that and talk to you about it. This Gino mix over here, this seasoning mix, is super special. It has everything you need to make the perfect batch of jollof. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. Gino thought about you when they were making it because Gino truly cares. You know how tedious it is to gather all your ingredients to now blend before you cook the jollof, and the jollof, you have to ignore it so that the jollof will not disgrace you, all of those things. This cuts in between that and makes sure that your jollof comes out perfect every single time. All you need after this is just your Gino curry powder, some seasoning, and your jollof is perfect and ready to go. So go out there and grab some Gino tomato seasoning mix. The jollof variety and also the Gino pepper and onion is out there on the market. And the OG Gino tomato paste right here is also available on the market. Perfect for your soups and stews, rich in nutrients. You don't want to miss out any of this goodness. So go out there and grab yourself some Gino. We're gonna let this cook, and once this simmers down, we'll be right back. And we're back. You're welcome to Foodie Friday. In case you're just tuning in, I'm in the kitchen with Chef Kikie, or just Kikie, like she just wants us to call her. Just Kikie. And we're making curry fried rice, and some pepper chicken as well. It is a banger. The chicken is doing what it do. Cameraman, kindly zoom in. Thank you very much. You do the Lord's work. Yeah, so the chicken is with the pepper. This is going to be super spicy. And the rice is almost ready. And we've been chopping it up in the kitchen. So back to what we're doing. What's next?
Okay, so now we're going to take the rice out of the saucepan and then saute the vegetables.
Okay.
And bring it back.
All right, sure.
Yeah. So we're just going to put it here.
Okay, cool.
So we can turn this off.
Yeah, let me turn
for a bit. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So curry rice is ready.
Yeah.
So step one, make your rice. We used about 1, 2, 3 packs of or sachets of Gino curry powder. Put that in the rice with some salt. We toasted the rice with the spice and the salt. Let it cook nicely, and now it's ready. I'm about to saute some vegetables. So that's just a quick little recap of what you've missed in case you just tuned in. Yes. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So now we're going to use a little oil. So please send this on for me now. Yeah.
All right.
And then our vegetables are going to go in.
All right.
First, I'll go in with the onion.
So yes, a little bit of oil because the goal is to saute, not to deep fry. It's
Yeah.
stew. I mean, sorry, it's not stew. It's rice we're making, so we are sauteing.
Yeah. Now all the
Right.
vegetables are going to go
Veggies
in.
go in next.
So we'll leave it to fry for a bit.
Okay.
And then we'll
It's
add
all
the...
very, very, very colorful and beautiful. Are we
Yeah.
putting some seasoning in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a little bit. A little sauce.
Perfect. Okay.
There.
Nice one.
And then we'll leave this to saute for a bit
Okay,
before
sure.
we add the rice.
And mind you, it's on medium heat,
Yeah.
close to low heat, so that it doesn't burn. The goal is to make sure that the veggies still feel fresh in the dish at the end of the day. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about your food business expansion. Where do you intend to go with all of this?
So I'm not going to do commercial cooking again.
Oh, you're
in
listening to your
Ghana.
mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done with that. I'm doing a new thing now, and I want to continue with the skincare influencing. And I actually want to be a social worker.
A social worker.
Yeah, I studied social work at University of Ghana. So after some time, I'll master it, and then that's what I want to do.
Wow. This is the part of Chef Kikie you will not see on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
Social work.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it. Why do you want to go into social work? Where's the passion come from?
So I've noticed that I have this thing where when I speak to people, they listen to me and sometimes they take it and it helps them a lot. And that's what social work is about, like helping people, women, destitute children, all of those things. And I like to help people, like because I've been through times where I was going through certain things in my life and I needed people, but there was nobody there for me. So it was very tough getting out of those things alone. So I'd like to help people as much as I can go through certain things that they're going through.
Right.
So that's where the social work comes from.
So with social work, what niche are you looking at? Is it women and children? Is it just the empowerment of the girl child, empowerment of the boy child? What were we looking
Mostly
at?
women and children.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on women and children a lot. And I feel like there are too many struggling children out there to not have anybody being there for them. So yeah, I'm looking at mostly women and children. But I want to go into marriage counseling as well because the stories are just really interesting. And that's what I want to hear.
Marriage counseling. Honestly, I would do that just to hear the tea.
Yeah.
I want to hear the tea and offer advice.
Yeah, because I used to do my service in Ekopon at the municipal assembly.
Okay.
And then because I was in the social work office, people come to my boss to speak to her. And bro, if you hear what people say about their spouse, you wonder if these people were ever in love. Like these were two people who used to tell themselves, I love you and things like that. And then now they are fighting and it is very bloody.
Ballistic.
Yeah. So,
I guess that's life, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think you know a person,
but you don't really know
you
them.
don't really know a person, and maybe they don't even know themselves.
Yeah.
And you happen to find yourself with them,
Yeah.
and they are discovering themselves, and you are equally discovering yourself. And then you may just discover that you married a tree monster, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You married one of your family witches, and unfortunately, you guys
can't
have to
do
share the
anything.
same roof.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same bed, but the same roof.
Yeah.
And you either need to make a decision that goes for or against you, and it can be a very, very tough one. So, I mean, that space would be super, super interesting, and hopefully you can start soon so that we'll get you and Miriam Udak Mensa to do a whole show on the dish.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Yes. We need to catch you on the dish to have all the tea and the conversations going.
Yeah.
But that's really a beautiful path that you want to tread.
Yeah.
But anyway, our rice is in with the sauteed vegetables, stirred in nicely. What's happening next?
So this will be done in like no time. That's it, we're done. Yeah.
So the soft girls like the quick meals. I'm just gonna cover this for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And just like that, the food is almost ready. And I see that the cameramen are smiling and boys in the back are active. They're ready. Because I'm about to get heated in here. Food smells amazing. Off the camera, I came to taste the rice, and just for dramatic effect. And honestly, it tastes amazing. So I can't wait for us to plate and dish this up. The chicken, I know is going to be super spicy.
Yeah.
Because we didn't touch the Gino tomato mix. I was eyeing it, so I thought it was going in, but apparently not. So today, mandems are gonna sweat and we're here for it.
But let me give you one hack. If this is too spicy and you have ketchup, just add it to it.
Ketchup.
That's
Also,
a recipe I used to use, yeah. And then I didn't ever give that recipe to anyone. I'm doing it here now, so.
You know what, thank you. She did it here on Foodie Friday for us. She's a lady of the people.
Yeah.
All right, but cooking with ketchup, a lot of people actually skip over it.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Is it because of the sweetness or what?
I think Ghanaians or West Africans don't like sweet things. Because when you travel, you notice that most of the food we eat out there, there's no pepper. Like, I'm always shouting, I want pepper in my food. But West Africans like pepper a lot. So we don't usually want to do the whole sweet thing. We want to do savory.
True.
So yeah,
true. Very true. All right, so whilst this is cooking, I'm very inquisitive. So I'm grabbing myself a tasting spoon and I'll do the same for you.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Let's taste this rice.
Okay.
I know it's going to be amazing. In fact, I'll let you taste it yourself first. So you tell me
how it's
going, yes.
Okay.
What are you saying?
It's good.
Okay. You see, is Chef Kikie wife material? Yes, no, maybe so. We're about to find out.
It's really good. Can I eat some?
Girl.
Would you guys give me?
Okay, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
And you're not just saying it, like, it's really good, right?
No, it's actually really good.
Thank you.
It's actually really, really good.
So I'm going to turn off the fire now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the episode with our very own Daphne Flashley when she made the jambalaya, an amazing, beautiful pot of rice. And this is equally as beautiful. This is going to be amazing.
Thank you.
The boys are going to dig in. We're looking forward to it.
Okay.
But since this is ready, let me get a plate so we can plate up.
Okay, sure.
And then do our ultimate taste test. We use a small plate because, as you know, on national TV, we eat small, and then back door, this is what we eat normally. We use the ladle and everything, but on national TV, we use this and a fork because we are being ladies. So here you go. Let me pass this to you.
Yeah.
Just look at the vibrant colors. Amazing.
So it's for the two of us?
Oh, yeah. Just a teensy bit for us to taste because, you know, composure is taste.
Okay.
This enough. It's even plain for us.
Fine.
No, well, ladies, we don't eat much.
And for the pepper, so I'm just going to take the pepper because
Sure.
the chicken is going to be a struggle.
Sure. Or you can just grab a piece of chicken.
Okay.
We'll try it still.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a fork for you.
Thank you.
And a fork for me.
Okay. Let me close this.
Okay, let's just cover the pot. There we go. So taste test time. Let's see what this pepper is saying first, because I've already tried the rice. Honestly, it's less spicy than expected.
Yeah.
And it's actually really good.
Thank you.
And I can appreciate the fact that you wanted it roughly blended just so you can get the flavor profile.
Exactly.
That is the greenness of the pepper. I love it. Let's try that together. Are you sure you don't want to give up on your beef with the AMA and start another shed? Because we need more food businesses like this in Accra.
Do you know the funny thing? I haven't cooked this in a very long time.
Really?
In about 2 years, yeah.
Really? A good chef never gets rusty. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I haven't cooked this in a very long time, so I really miss this food.
This is amazing. I love this. I love this. I love this. You know what? Just for that, I have a gift for you. I'll be right
Thank you
back.
so much.
Gino truly cares. So this package here is a gift to you from our lovely people at Gino.
Thank
It's
you.
as if Gino knew that this food would bang just because we're using their ingredients in our food. So
Yeah. And the thing is, I've been using Gino for a really long time.
Yeah?
And I really, really like their stuff, especially their tomato paste. So I'm excited to try the jollof mix.
you should try the jollof mix. In here, I believe there's also the Gino pepper and onion.
Okay.
And then there's the mayonnaise and the baked beans as well. So
I really like their baked beans too.
So that could go hard for your salad. In
Yeah.
case you want to make some salad for this rice later on,
Okay.
we can go up the street and get out and get some ingredients and come back. All right? Off camera though.
Thank you, Gino.
You're very much welcome. But thank you, Chef Kikie,
You're welcome.
for joining us in the studio.
You're
You should follow her on Instagram. What's your handle?
Lynne Kikie everywhere. LYNNE space KIKIE. So
Yes.
yeah.
So LYNNE space KIKIE. Yes, go ahead and follow her on social media. You can tap into some of her recipes, and also if you have a food business and you wanted to do some influencer,
Okay, yeah.
you can call her to come and do influencer
Yeah.
for you. But yes, it's been amazing having you in the kitchen.
Thank
The food
you.
is amazing.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait for these cameras to go off. We're about to do damage as usual. And until next week, stay safe, stay blessed. We're out. KJB out. Mwah.